So let's look at multiplying and dividing sign numbers and let's see what happens. So let me start by putting some problems on the board first. So we're going to start with some multiplication problems. And first of all, let's talk about how to signal multiplication. You can signal multiplication with a times sign, with a asterisk, a dot between the two numbers, or parentheses that are touching. Now, when you multiply sign numbers, if they have the same sign, the result will be positive. If they have unlike signs, the result will always be negative. So here, 2 times 4 is 8. Both were positive, both were the same. The result is this positive. 2 times 4 is 8, but because the signs were unlike, my result is negative 8. 2 times 4 is 8. Signs were unlike. My result is negative 8. 2 times 4 is 8. The signs are the same, both negative. Result is positive. So, like signs produce positive results. Unlike signs produce negative results. Now, if you have more than two numbers multiplied, let's say you had 3 times 4 times 2. Now, we have to first do the first two. So you look and you say, okay, that's 12. And then multiply it by 2. You get 24. So if you keep it like this, you can think, okay, when I multiply these two together, like signs, positive result. Multiplying these two together, like signs, positive result. So now when I put some negative signs in there, multiply these two together, like signs, positive result. Multiply this, 24. Now sometimes what you'll see is where you have the same number multiplied by itself. Or 3 negative signs in a row, maybe like this. And so when that happens, if you have 3 negative signs, if you just think about it, if you multiplied the two together, the first two, it would become positive, no matter what the number is here. And then I multiply the next one, so unlike signs, then this would be negative. So 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. I end up, if I break it down, negative 3 times negative 3 was positive 9. And then I still have to multiply that by negative 3. Unlike signs, negative 27. Here, I get a positive 6 because like signs, and then multiply it by the last number, unlike signs, so negative 24. If you have, one way to think about this is if you have an odd number of negative signs, your result will always be negative. If you have an even number of negative signs, your result will always be positive. Because if I change this and said, okay, what if I multiply negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2? I have 1, 2, 3, 4 negative signs. So following my chart here, that's an even amount of numbers. So I should get a positive answer. But let's check. So when I multiply these two together, I get positive 4, right? Now I still have to multiply that by what remains here. So doing the next step, I get 8, but it's -8 because unlike signs. I still have to multiply that -8 by a -2. Like signs, I get +16. So it does follow the chart I gave you here. Now likewise, division follows the same pattern. So if you divide like signs, you're going to get a positive result. If you divide unlike signs, you're going to get a negative result. So if I said 9 divided by 3, or here, let me make this different. So we're dealing with 3 different digits. Let's say I said 10 divided by 2, +5. If I said 10 divided by -2, think of just the numbers. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 2 unlike signs, -5. -10 divided by +2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Negative and positive result in a negative. And then if I had like signs, I end up with a +5. Now division can be written in a variety of ways. You can write it with the symbol like this. You can write it with a slash like this. You can write it with a fraction bar like this. You can also write it with the long division symbol like this. So those are different ways that you'll see division written.